Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Your attitude means so much. I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to tell you what. Many men don't understand that the real thing that they have to work on is inside. Because you got a lot of guys, even though I talk body game, that's really to, even before you get there, you got to have the right attitude, you know? And, you get some guys thinking, well, if I got a certain style, you still got to have the right attitude. Or they thinking, well, if I get money and everything, or I get status. And I was like, well, if you want to make money and get status, you got to have the attitude. Everything comes from your attitude, right? Because let me use the example. I know I'll get some thumbs down, but incels. Now, I've seen some guys call themselves incels, but like I said, I can't really judge a man's face, but I can make a comparison with men who I know were not incels, getting women like crazy. I'm like, I can't really see the difference in look. That's the only comparison I make. But then I can definitely see the difference in attitude. Because you get some guys, they got that attitude like, I'm the shit, I'm the bomb. And they got that confidence. That's their attitude. And they might look average, but they think they look good. And that's all that really needs to happen, because then they moving through the world with a certain confidence, with a certain thing. Even if a woman reject them, they just think, oh, wow, this particular woman don't think it. Meanwhile, somebody who looks similar, they're like, their attitude is poor. Their attitude is poor. They don't feel good about themselves. Their self-esteem is low, all right? So, they put themselves in a position where they don't act from it, because remember, everything stems from the mind. Remember, for those who practice, the Hermetic laws, the universe is mental. Everything starts from an idea. Even when I talk body game, you still got to have the attitude and the idea to work on yourself, to go in there and do the work, to even have the idea or what you're going to go in there and do. So it's mental. It means everything. Now, let's take this beyond women, because the main thing on this channel is man gets woman, because that's important for men. I mean, and trust me, just as an aside, it was men that asked me to write a book for men on how to get women. And trust me, there was a period, I say around 2005, maybe around 2006, 2007. I thought I did enough in this. I was trying to get into other things, but people kept pulling me back in, right? So, just to be clear on that. But ultimately, back on track, your attitude is about life. Seriously. Because what do I always talk about? Being sovereign. A man being sovereign, having control over your life. Being in a position where you're making the money that you want to make. Being in a position you doing what you want to do. That you live in life as best as possible on your terms. As best as possible. The reality is, due to the interconnectedness of human beings, no one's ever going to be 100% on their terms. But if you can be 70 or 80 or even 90% on your terms, that's great. And that's what I want to see. But even to get there, you got to have that attitude. You got to have the attitude, and it got to be a positive attitude, just towards life. If you, that person, feel like your attitude is like defeatist and like, I ain't going to win, and they definitely have defeaters towards women, like a woman ain't going to want me. And they defeaters towards life, and I ain't going to get this job I want, or I won't be able to move into this place, or, they just have control. That's a negative attitude. But then you get somebody else like, you know what? I don't like where I'm at. I got to move, right? Because, definitely with women, like, oh, yeah, I can get these women, or, making money. You know what? I can get this kick-ass job that I can make money with. I can move from this bad place to a good place. I can, even if it's just for some materialistic things, I can get that late model car. It's all in the attitude. It determines your direction in life. And your attitude is such a powerful thing that if you really take control of your own attitude, nobody can do it. I mean, you can get 100 people that try to criticize you. You can get 100 people, 1,000 people try to criticize you. Because I'm going to tell you what. Now, people know me for my book, Nice Guys and Players. It's an international bestseller. It has sold all over the world. But shoot, there were times when I first started, in fact, the first time I was at an event, I was at a singles party, and it was at someone's house, and there was an empty room. I was set up in there selling my stuff, and a guy came up there, and he basically he didn't even read the book. He putting it down and everything. And I just looked at him and smirked. I was just like, okay, whatever. And then other times I do some vending. I've had men and women see the book and laugh in my face. And that laugh, not a laugh with me type of laugh, you know? And even when it's sold, you know, shoot, Amazon, I saw some negative reviews, a few negative reviews. But my attitude was like, I'm giving them guys some information. And I'm still here, 20 years. Because my attitude was like, I'm going to win with this. And in fact, that's always been my attitude. When I go in any situation, I'm going to win. You know, do I always win? No, nobody's gonna win. Shoot, if you even like all pro basketball players, whether it's back in the day with Michael Jordan or now with LeBron James, they all miss shots. But their attitude was, I'm going to take it, and that means everything. Because see, when you have an attitude, everything else grows about you. Like, okay, people know me for body game, and remember, I mentioned if you got that right mindset, you'll go in there and do what you got to do in the gym, or maybe go outside and work out, but you'll keep your body tight, you know? Or you could be like, well, I'm gonna develop that mouthpiece. Your attitude is like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to all these women. I ain't gonna let anything stop me. I'm not gonna have fear, because everything grows from an idea. I remember back when I first started, the early 90s, I said, look, I want a business. And I remember a guy who was, he was a successful businessman. He said, you know what, half the battle is just making that decision to start a business. Because then everything, your mind will start finding ways to make it happen. That's your attitude. But you got to have a positive attitude. But say you have a negative attitude. What happens is you basically telling your body, you telling your subconscious, right? Like, oh, I'm going to lose. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose. You are going to lose because you're going to start doing stuff to lose. Like saying, okay, say you want a job or something and you can't stand, you getting treated well, but you staying on it because your attitude is like you can't get anything better. But then you get fired from that job, right? You get fired from that job, then you need another job. But see, you already told your mind, your attitude is you can't get another one. Guess what? You won't get another one. Meanwhile, somebody with a positive attitude, they could get fired from that job or laid off. Shoot, they might have they'll have another job before they get home. Because their attitude is like, hey, I can always get a job. Like literally, I actually know somebody who did that. He got laid off in the morning, had another job by that evening. I was like, oh, man, because I talked to him, buddy of mine from back in the day. I said, yeah, man, what's going on with you, man? Yeah. Because he had called me earlier and said, man, I got laid off, Ron. And then, you know, I gave him a call back, couldn't talk with him. At the time, gave him a call back. Yo, man, how you hanging? Oh, I got another job, Ron. He had that attitude. It's very important. The attitude means everything. It's up here. Everything starts in your mind. Everything. I don't care what it is. You know, that's why I do my deep thought channel to get people to think, because everything starts there. If you write up there, everything else will be right in life. All right. Want y'all to think on this. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.